Hello, everyone. Welcome to my reverse dieting masterclass. My name is Lindsay Sherman with Lindsay Sherman Fitness. I am an online fitness coach who helps overscheduled women learn how to fit training and nutrition into their current busy schedules. And I wanted to do a masterclass today on reverse dieting because it is a question or it's a topic that I get a lot of questions about. And I feel like it's a topic that a lot of us women don't really understand. There's so much mixed information out on the internet, right, about nutrition. And something that really confused me before I became a coach, before I got into this space, was nutrition. And I just felt like it was just so overwhelming. So I'm here to talk about it with you today. I want to start off by just explaining a little bit of my own story. Before I became a fitness coach, I got into fitness. I was in fitness for, I want to say, 6 years before I became a fitness coach and working out consistently. I got into fitness in high school when I stopped playing basketball and kind of stopped school sports. And I was super stressed. I was a junior, senior in high school, and I took on the maximum workload, was doing all the AP classes, right? Everything I could do to kind of set myself ahead for my future. However, this left me super stressed, and I turned to fitness as a way at first to mentally cope with the stress. And I'm still here doing it many, many years later, and I'm teaching other women how to do this also. So I have always been thin my whole life. I've never had a problem putting on weight. And what you see in the 2021 picture there in the little collage is what I looked like most of my life, but with a little bit of muscle that I started to add on through weightlifting when I got into fitness. However, I was not adding on as much muscle as I would have liked to. I weightlifted throughout college. Then I got out of college, got a full-time job, and I continued working out weightlifting, but I just wasn't seeing the results that I wanted to see until I started reversing my diet, until I started adding in more food, more nutrient-dense food, fixing my macros, adding in protein. That is when I finally started to see results. So you can see kind of the transition from 2023, 2024, and it made a huge difference in not only my training, but also my energy, my mindset. Things that stressed me out no longer stress me out. I was able to deal with situations better and also think clearer about situations, whether that was in work or at home. So it's impacted me in so many ways. And in my case, I used reverse dieting to add muscle, to add some weight. There's a 40-pound weight difference in the 2021 picture and the 2024 picture. And I'm very happy with gaining that weight. I've never felt better. And obviously my goals change and grow over time. But that has been a lot of my journey so far. Now, when we talk about reverse dieting, like I said, in my case, it was to add weight, add muscle. We can also use reverse dieting as a tool to lose weight. And then we're also talking about body recomposition, right? So losing weight while gaining muscle to get you that nice toned look, if that's what you're going for. It can really be a tool for multiple different scenarios. So enough about me. Let's jump into it. So reverse dieting. What is reverse dieting? Reverse dieting is strategically increasing your calories over time with a goal to restore calories to a maintenance level, sometimes above maintenance. And this is typically done after a prolonged amount of time in a calorie deficit. So, for example, if you've been trying to lose weight for quite some time, you may have been in a deficit for maybe even years. Who knows, right? So that is typically when we are looking to do a reverse. And we use reverse dieting as a tool to achieve many goals, like I said. Another thing to remember about a reverse is this is a phase, right? Same with a deficit being a phase. So we are not meant to be in a reverse or a caloric deficit for years, for our whole lives. It's a phase. So if you have been in a deficit for a long time, then that's something to keep in mind also, right? So we kind of use the 3 phases, deficit, maintenance, and then reverse, as tools to help us accomplish our goals. So how do I know if I should reverse diet? So like I said, if you have been in a caloric deficit for an extended period of time, that means eating less calories than what you are burning, most likely in an attempt to lose weight, that is possibly a sign you should enter a reverse. Also, if your calories are not super low, maybe you're eating close to maintenance, but you don't have a lot of room to make adjustments. So say you are eating really close to your maintenance calories and you want to go into a deficit, you might not have a lot of room to make an adjustment. So we may want to reverse you up and then make that adjustment down. So it all kind of depends, but those are some of the situations. Also, if you aren't seeing weight loss, improve training performance or muscle build with your current nutrition plan and schedule. So like I said, we can use reversing for all of these things. And then also, if you have any of the symptoms on this next slide. So if you are not fueling your body properly, or you are a candidate for a reverse diet, you may have some of these symptoms. Decreased energy. For me, increased naps. I was napping every day after work, right? Decreased motivation. So you get home from work, or even you're going to work during the day, and you just don't have the motivation to get things done to tackle the tasks that you need to. Second thing, you may be in a weight loss rut. So you've been trying to lose weight for a long time. Nothing's happening. You feel like you're doing everything right. You're eating in a deficit. You're training frequently. You're watching what you're eating, but nothing's happening. So weight loss rut. Some other things, poor performance while training. You don't have the energy. You're not progressing in your training. So you're lifting weights 3 times a week, but you're never able to kind of move up in weights and hit the next step. So that is definitely another one. And then increased desire for caffeine. So I put this one on here because if you are, more tired, you don't have a lot of energy, you may be, having some more caffeine every day, feeling like you need that to get through the day. So that is definitely another one. Another thing, hormonal changes. So if you are not fueling your body properly, we can expect to see changes in hormones. Additionally, your cortisol, which is your stress hormone, will also increase. And that will kind of cause you to be in a weight loss rut too. Because if your cortisol is super high, because you are not eating enough, your body is stressed, right? It's saying, oh my gosh, I'm not getting enough food. I need to hang on to the fat, to the energy, to everything I can get while I have it. So your body is kind of stressed out, if that makes sense. And then low/inconsistent hunger cues. So for example, for me, when I was not eating enough, and the main cause of that was I didn't learn how to properly fuel my body throughout the day. I didn't learn how to have a good breakfast, how to have good snacks throughout the day. And then I'd get busy while I was at work, right? And I wouldn't eat. I would go to work many mornings, 4:30, 5:30 in the morning. Some days I would not eat until 2 p.m. And I wasn't hungry. Like, I wasn't starving until I got to that 2, 3 p.m. mark, because my body was it was used to it. I put it at a new baseline of not eating, and my body was not used to it. Now, if I go more than 3 hours without a snack or a meal, I'm getting grumpy. So we kind of have to reset your hunger cues. So you may think, well, I'm not really hungry to eat more food. You may not be, because you have kind of messed with your body's hunger cues. So that can all be reset with a reverse. So let's chat about how we kind of use the numbers, the science, to get us going with a reverse and seeing if we're even a candidate for a reverse or where we are at. So, two things that we really need to look at are BMR and TDEE, the acronyms that rule our nutrition. And these are things that I wish that I would have known when I was really confused about what to eat, starting to track my macros, but not really knowing why I was tracking my macros or what I was looking for, what the goals were that I needed to aim for. I was just tracking, right? Everyone says, well, track your food, but it's like, what am I even looking for, right? This is where we start. So, also, working with a nutritionist helps make these things more clear. So I will talk about coaching and what I'm offering later, but this is a good place to get started. This is what we use, and it evolves from there, but this is the basics, right? So our two acronyms. First one, BMR. This is your basal metabolic rate, aka the calories that your body burns at rest to perform life-sustaining functions. So I like to think about this number as like, this is the amount of calories that's needed to like keep the lights on, right? This is like paying your electric bill. This is what you need to function. So we definitely want to make sure that we are hitting this many calories. And then we have TDEE. This is your total daily energy expenditure. And this is where things get interesting, right? So this is the amount of calories that you burn in a day with your daily activity. So with your workouts, with just walking, the more active you are, the more calories you are going to naturally start burning in a day. Things like that, right? So when we look at our BMR and our TDEE, these are the two numbers that we can use to manipulate our calories and where we need to be. And you can use online calculators to find all these numbers too. If you aren't sure if one calculator is right, I would try just even 3, 4, 5 calculators and see, what the average is. Usually I find that there's one that's like way, way off, and then you find a few that are around the same. And you can kind of use this to find these numbers if you're looking to do that for yourself. So let's apply this. It can be a lot of information at first, but let's apply it. So example A, let's call her Susan. So Susan's BMR is 1,600 calories. So again, this is the amount of calories she needs to keep the lights on, to keep her body functioning at rest, to keep her organs working, 1,600 calories. Susan's daily energy expenditure, her TDEE, is 2,000 calories. So this is the calories she's burning throughout the day, and she is, so that's, what her body's burning throughout the day. So if we look at Susan's nutrition, Susan comes to us. She's currently eating 1,200 calories. She's been eating that for the past 2 years. She's taking 3 exercise classes per week, and she is not losing weight. So these are just some numbers I'm throwing out there. If you're taking 3 exercise classes per week, you might be burning more calories, less calories. All depends on your body, right? So, for example, let's look at first what she's eating. So she's eating 1,200 calories a day, and that's with leading an active lifestyle. So that means she's burning 2,000. So if we look at that 1,200, if you notice, her BMR is 1,600. So Susan is currently eating below her BMR. So, as we discussed, this is the number, like our baseline, right? So you can eat below your baseline. your body is still going to survive. It's just entering into that higher stress survival mode, right? Which is what we don't really want because, again, our hormones start to fluctuate. Things are not operating as optimally, low energy, all the things that we discussed. So we want to get Susan above her BMR. And then if we were going to aim for maintenance, we'd be looking at that 2,000 calorie mark for maintenance. So Susan has quite a way to go, right, to get to maintenance. She's got 800 calorie difference between where she's at and maintenance. So if Susan were looking to add on more muscle, she would need to eat possibly even more above maintenance to add that on. So, if Susan came to me and she said that she was looking to lose weight, which she hasn't been losing weight for the last 2 years. I get a lot of clients like Susan who come to me and they say that same thing. And then they say, I have to cut calories. I've been eating too much food. I need to cut calories. Well, when we look at Susan, we see that she's already 400 calories below her BMR. And she's 800 calories below what she's burning a day. So something is not right, right? So they always tell you calories in, calories out, right? It's simple as that. Eat less calories than you burn. Well, Susan's been eating 800 less calories than she's been burning for the last 2 years, and she's not losing weight. So it's time to reassess, right? We need to get Susan above her BMR, get her body functioning properly, get her aim towards maintenance and kind of reset everything. Susan does not have room to go into a deficit at this point in time. She's already way below her BMR. So that's just an example there. Let me give you one more example, and I'll try not to go on for days on this one. So here's another example. Let's call her Mary. Mary is, her BMR is 1,500 calories. And your BMR is it's a big equation, right? That's why you can use an online calculator. But it's all based on your weight, your age, all those factors. So her BMR is 1,500 calories. And she's expending 2,600 calories a day. Mary is currently eating 2,000 calories per day and weightlifting 5 days per week without seeing muscle growth or gains. So in Mary's case, she is eating above her BMR, which is great, right? We want to see that. She's eating above her BMR, but she is expending 2,600 calories a day because she is in the gym, weightlifting, working really hard, right? And she's not seeing that muscle growth or gains because she's 600 calories below her maintenance level. That TDEE is your maintenance level. So we may want to look at getting Mary in a surplus above her maintenance level for a little bit of time so we can see more of that muscle growth or gains. But we at least want to try to get her to maintenance because she's under right now. So hopefully that all makes sense. And you can let me know if you guys have any questions too. Okay, moving on. So our goals with the reverse, I've mentioned a few of them. We want to boost our metabolic rate. We want to get our body in a state where it understands that we are not stressed, we are feeding it, we are fueling it, and tell our body that it is allowed to burn calories, to boost our metabolism, to start working how it's supposed to again. Next, we want to restore any possible hormonal imbalances. Like I said, if you're below your BMR, you've got a risk for your hormones to be imbalanced. We're going to improve training performance. You're going to have more energy, more strength for weightlifting, cardio, whatever you're working on, we're going to improve that. And we want to build muscle, possibly. It could be a goal with a reverse. I always recommend, whether you are trying to lose weight or build muscle, I always recommend that we should be weightlifting and trying to build some muscle no matter what. If you come to me and you say, oh, I don't want to build muscle, I'm scared of getting too big, I'm always going to tell you, you will never get too big on accident, okay? And the toned look that you want usually requires more muscle than you think it does. So I'm always having a goal to build some muscle with my clients, right? Decrease hunger and cravings. We've kind of gone over that. Reset those hunger cues. And when you are not going all day without eating, and you might be eating throughout the day, but you might be having smaller meals, just not eating enough. And that leads to higher cravings. When you get to the end of the day, you're like, oh my gosh, I just need some cake or some ice cream or whatever. And all of that stuff is fine in moderation, but you're going to have more cravings when you are eating below where you should be. Increase energy and possibly lose weight. So I have seen people, I will just put this out here, I have seen people who start a reverse, their body starts burning, boosts their metabolism, and they start losing weight right away with a reverse. And then other times it takes quite a while. It's a process. So let's go over what to expect with that. Let's do the strategy first. Okay. So the strategy, we're going to slowly increase your calories and macros with a plan. If you are 800 calories under where we want you to be with our plan, I'm not going to add 800 calories to your nutrition overnight. We're going to slowly increase into manageable levels, kind of like a staircase, right? We're going to add in nutrient-dense foods, especially protein. Protein is one that I see a lot of people lacking when they come to me. So definitely, usually something we need to work on. This might seem obvious, not adding in sugar, candy, etc. to hit the calories. We want quality calories while we're reversing, not just calories. And knowing what our goal is and how long we're aiming to reverse for. It all depends where you're starting and where we're planning to go on how much time this is going to take. We could be reversing for months. It all depends on, one, your adherence to the reverse and how far away you are from the goal that we need to hit, right? Again, this is where a coach comes in handy and can help you do this. You can do this on your own, but it does take some pretty strict adherence on your part. Just make sure you're hitting those goals. And it's just always, I think, in my opinion, because I am a coach, easier to do this with support. Okay, some tips for reversing. Increasing meal frequency, so eating more often throughout the day. Pre-tracking or meal prepping. So if you are tracking your calories, which you probably would be if we're reversing, pre-tracking in the mornings can sometimes help you plan out how you are going to hit those calories for the day. Kind of thinking of what your snacks and your meals will be ahead of time. The third one, drinking more calories. I don't want you to drink all of your calories, but adding in protein shakes, smoothies, all that good stuff can just help add in some more calories, some more nutrients, especially protein. I'm having a protein shake mostly every day for me personally. And then adding in toppings or condiments that add to calories and macros. So for example, say you're having a salad instead of just having, lettuce and dressing, you're adding in some good, all depends what you like on your salad, but maybe you're adding in some cheese, some nuts, some berries, whatever you like on your salad. Adding those things in, veggies, how did I miss veggies? Veggies, adding those things in, and then the other thing, I know I just said veggies, but fruits and veggies are really great, but they won't significantly increase your intake. So you want to kind of get your brain out of the mode of looking for things that are all low calorie. I have had clients like that who are just like, oh, this is only 100 calories, so I can eat it. But we're going through a reverse, so I want you to increase your calories if it is, good nutrient dense food that is adding to your fuel. Hopefully that all makes sense. Okay, now we can talk about what to expect. So first off, when you start a reverse, you may very well see some scale fluctuations. And this can be due to a number of things. The main thing is if you are increasing your carbs, you are naturally increasing your sodium, which leads to increased water retention. So a lot of your scale fluctuations will be due to water retention as well as having a fuller gut. You have more food in your gut, you are going to weigh more. Remember, you are not going to gain fat overnight. So if you weigh in today and you weigh in tomorrow and you've gained 2 pounds, that is not fat. You did not gain fat overnight. We are seeing some scale fluctuations due to water and a fuller gut. And then another thing is while we are reversing in basically all the time, I want you to stay consistent with weighing yourself in the morning. And this will help cut down on some of those variables, especially of having more water and a fuller gut. If you weigh yourself at the end of the day. So weighing yourself in the morning, right after going to the bathroom, before you've eaten anything, that is ideal to make sure that we are tracking those scale fluctuations in the most accurate way possible. So then a big question everybody wants to know. How long before I can cut calories again? So it's different for everyone, but long story short is this is going to take some time and it is a process. What we don't want to do is reverse for 2 weeks and then slash our calories again and stress our body out again. We want to get our body used to this new normal, used to being comfortable in this new place before we can go into a reverse, a deficit. So all depends on where you were starting, how far you have to go. If you have 1,000 calories to reverse up, for example, we're going to break that into steps over time, and that is going to take longer. So it all depends on where you're starting and where you have to go. Like I said, it's usually multiple steps. We're not just reversing you in one step and then going back the other way. So for example, you might add 200 calories, maintain that for 3 weeks, and then we add 200 more and maintain that for 3 more weeks, and that's how we work up. Another thing is if we add in the calories and you aren't adhering to those new calories consistently, I'm not going to up you again in calories. So if you are having trouble adhering or you are kind of being resistant to adhering because this is a new process, it will take longer because what we want to see is you get up to maintenance and we want to stabilize that. So I want to see your weight stabilize. I want to see everything kind of stabilize, your energy, everything level out, and make sure that we are in the right, taking the right steps before we go into a fat loss phase. I will also watch this as we are reversing to make sure that we aren't reversing too quickly, things like that. So, if this sounds like something that you think may be for you, based off of what we've talked about today, but sounds a little overwhelming, you're looking for some support, right? This is where I do my little pitch. So my one-on-one coaching program is open right now. You have 3 options to work with me. I've kind of broken it up this year. I did not break it up last time I launched, but I wanted to give you some options depending on where you want to start. So you have 3 options. They're all 4-month programs. It can really take 4 months to start seeing results. I like to work with someone for 4 months so that we can, if you work with someone for a few weeks, you're not going to see results. Most likely in those few weeks that are, lasting habits and results. So let's go over the options. So option 1 is just nutrition. If you're just looking for nutrition help, if you want to go into a reverse or you think you should go into a reverse and you just want to talk about that with me and work on that, that is option 1, $150 a month. Option 2 is just training. If you feel like you've got your nutrition pretty dialed in, or you just want to start with training and add in nutrition later, $300 a month. And then 4 months the third option, training and nutrition. So both of those together will kind of conquer everything, and that is $350 a month. So laying it all out there for you. A lot of coaches like to hide their prices, make you get on a call with them first. I don't really feel as good about doing that. I myself like to see what I am looking at before I get too committed to things sometimes. So I wanted to lay those out for you. So if it's something you need to think about, you can definitely think about that. Some other things to know, we can do payment plans. If that works better for you, you have the option to pay it all in full, or we can break it up into payment plans. You can also start with nutrition or just training and then add the other one on. So say you start with nutrition, you do that for 2 months, and then you say, hey, Lindsay, I think I'm ready to add in training. You are not stuck with just nutrition for 4 months. We can add the training in. On top of that, we will just add in the price difference at that time. So how do we do this? How do I support and coach you remotely from afar? So we will have weekly check-ins with video responses. At the end of every week, you will check in with me, and I will get back to you at the beginning of the week with a video response, going over what went well last week, what we want to focus on for the next week, and kind of what we're looking at going forward, setting weekly goals, short-term, long-term goals, stuff like that. Then we will have monthly calls so that we can get some face-to-face time or some on-phone time. Those are optional, but if you want to make things a little bit more personal or have some more questions, we have that. Then your nutrition and training plan, whichever one that you choose, completely customized to you and your needs. No two of my clients get the same exact nutrition or training plan. It's not cookie cutter. I make it specifically for you. And everything is in one app. So when you sign up to work with me, you will get access into the app that I use where all of your workouts, all of your nutrition, everything is laid out for you. You can track your progress pictures, your weight, your measurements, your food, everything all in one place. I hate using multiple apps, so I love that feature. You will also get lifetime access to my course. My course is always growing and evolving. This masterclass will be added into that course also. So if you want to see more things like this, and if you want to keep getting information, even say you do 4 months of coaching and then you want to try on your own for a little while, you will still have access to my course and to my resources that you had while you were working with me. Of course, unlimited messaging with me during the week, and I will, get back to you within 24 or 48 hours, usually 24. And then we have form checks. So if you are ever training on your own, especially because this is an online program, so you will be, you can always send me videos of your form, and I can give you tips and help you correct any things that don't feel right or don't look right. And then workout adjustments. I set up your workouts, but as things change, certain movements might not feel right to you or just anything like that. I am always adjusting and working on things to make it better for you. And more. There's lots more. The program is what you make it. So you can join the program. You can say, listen, I just need some workouts. I'm going to hit my workouts. I don't have any questions. It is what you make it. I don't recommend that. I want you to use all of the resources I offer to you. The more questions you ask, the more you can learn. The more you watch in the course, the more you can learn. But that's also why I give you lifetime access to my course, because I don't want you to feel rushed to go through the whole course in 4 months. So it is what you make it. So if you made it this far, I'm so glad that you've joined me for this reverse dieting masterclass. I am going to try to put a link to my coaching in the description, and also a way that you can reach me if you have any questions for me. And I'm looking forward to doing some more of these resources for you in the future, so let me know what you want to see. And I hope everyone has a great day and enjoyed the class. Thank you.